Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I know I keep showing up whenever the fuck I want, but I think it's kind of fun because it's like you'll never see me coming. Like, never let them know your next move. Today is a good day because in 2 hours I'm gonna be visiting the library for the first time to attend an event, which is for adults, is like a watercoloring event. But before I do that, I wanted to give you a quick reading update because I'm reading 4 books at the same time. You know, when you just wanna have a drink for hydration, but another one for taste, but another one for carbonation, fermentation. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's happening to me with books right now. So I'm going to talk to you about the books I'm currently reading. Before I landed in Texas, I was already reading Dungeon Crawler Carl. This book, wow. Definitely out of my comfort zone. I never really read outside fantasy or more leaning towards romance and stuff. So this was definitely something different for me, and I can't believe I was missing out on this. If you haven't heard about Dungeon Crawler Carl at all, this is a book about a man and his cat trying to survive the apocalypse after an alien A man and his cat are trying to survive the apocalypse that will be televised across the galaxy because, yes, there was an alien invasion. These aliens arrived on Earth to transform every element, material, whatever, everything, and turned it into dungeons in different levels. So this transformation includes the human crawlers, which is what they call the humans that enter the dungeons. They have the ability to see the world as if they're in a video game. So I thought that concept was very cool. I didn't even know that literary RPG was a thing until I read this book. There's 8 books in the series, so I think I have a long way to go, but it makes me very excited because this is actually so funny, but so dark at the same time. I think my English literature professor would have a field day with this book. The other day, I was talking to my boyfriend about the literacy crisis going on in the US because a lot of people lack empathy. Just stay with me because obviously when you read books, you put yourself in the shoes of all these characters that you're reading about. So it doesn't always happen in video games, but mostly in these kinds of games, like you get the bad guys and all you know is that you have to destroy them. So in this case, all these mobs, all these monsters, you realize that they're all in the same boat with the human crawlers. Like, these mobs were sourced from other planets that these aliens also invaded, and they were also promised things if they kill everybody, if they all pretty much have to survive to achieve the peace that they were promised. So it put things in a little bit of a sad perspective. So I really recommend this book. I'm halfway through, and this is definitely going to be a 5 stars because this is something really different for me, at least. And I really appreciate the little push to explore outside my usual comfort genres. And speaking of, I am getting into murder mysteries. So I got Murder by Cheesecake. I don't know if I ever talked about this on here, but I love Golden Girls. Golden Girls is my favorite sitcom of all time. And I think it's very rare to see on mainstream media talks about finding love after marriage finding love after divorce or finding love after being widowed. This show has a special place in my heart. So when I saw this book, I didn't know this book came out last year. So I think it's pretty cute because the concept of the cheesecake, because they were always eating and talking and yapping with a cheesecake. And it feels just like watching any other episode. So I'm very excited to keep reading this book. The next one I'm reading is actually an arc. It's called Love Between the Lectures. And I thought that this was gonna be a cutesy little palate cleanser, but it turns out to be a little bit more meaningful to me than I thought. The FMC, she has grown up in a very conservative, purist household. So currently being a sex educator, she lies to her mom and tells her that she's a nutritionist. But even then, knowing that she has a PhD and she also has a Nobel Prize is not good enough for her mom because her mom just wants her to settle down and wants to see her with a man. She wants to see her married and have kids and yada, yada, yada. So all of her achievements mean nothing. So the premise of this book is that she has to mentor her childhood best friend. They reunited after 20 years. He knows the basics of the subject, but not enough to actually teach the course properly. So she gets assigned as his mentor. So It's not spicy, which I appreciate a lot. It comes out in September, by the way. You can check it out on NetGalley. They're doing a giveaway as I'm filming this. Last but not least, I am also reading The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I think she's such a great writer. This is my third book by her. This is from her Say You Remember Me trilogy, I think. I decided to skip Say You Remember Me because it didn't really grab my attention, but the concept of this one kind of did. There are some things that resonate as well here. Because, how do I say this without sounding cliche? The people that you surround yourself with, especially love interests or significant others, like they show who they really are when you need them the most. And I feel like this book also promises a lot, so I'm very excited. By the way, I also borrowed this from my boyfriend's local library, and I felt so cool because this is the first time I actually borrow from a library that's not from Libby, so I felt so cool. Support your libraries. I think right now I'm in the mood for this one, so I'm gonna keep reading and I'll talk to you when I start getting ready for the library. I am severely suffering the consequences of underpacking, so this is what we're working with. This is the only tote bag I brought. I made it myself, by the way. I know it looks kind of goofy, but I love her. She's very gorgeous to me. Anyways, Doc Martens, so look at my legs. I haven't shaved. So yeah, do you think the old ladies are gonna fuck with this fit? I hope so. Okay, I gotta go.
Once in a while I dream. Once in a while.
I have to pee so bad, but it was so fun. Anyways, look at what I did. Yo, I got my period and I am in agonizing pain, but I have a little update for you because I am halfway into the book. I acknowledge that I may have been a little bit too harsh on Mike. I understand his struggle, but the way that he's coping is low-key pissing me off. As someone who also hates to be in environments where everybody is drunk and everybody is always like looking to party, smoke, do something, instead of just taking it easy, I totally understand why Larissa feels the way she does. I mean, she's just looking to relax. She's working all the time. She's working herself out. And the only moment that she gets time to relax and read Mike is being annoying. So that's very frustrating. I am on chapter 20, so I'll give you an update when I'm a few more chapters ahead.
Days gone by when you and I were new.
The sun is gonna set in like 20 minutes, so I decided to go outside. It's so hot. So there's two things I wanted to say about Chris so far, because first, kind of a lore drop here. The way he describes grief is so accurate, specifically with the way that he lost his mom. Liver diseases are no joke. Also watching my godfather die from it. Actually, his liver disease was one of the many things that he suffered from. And the way that he describes it is exactly how I felt. Watching your father figure look almost irrecognizable. The yellow skin, the eyes, I cannot even imagine the pain he couldn't even verbalize. So him having nightmares about it is something so realistic, and it's just, I get it. So I feel him. It makes me kind of sad. Like, I get it. And also the way he's so attentive with Larissa, and this nightmare that he had about her, like, it shows that there's no going back. He is fucked. He's falling in love with her, and obviously what's gonna happen because that's what the book is about. But the way it's happening is he's just so caring, and the way that he worries about her, unlike Mike. I really hope that Larissa really comes to her senses. I forgot to also tell you that I do not like the use of the words trauma bonding. I mean, the terms trauma bonding and overstimulated, because trauma bonding is not bonding with someone over shared trauma or whatever trauma each of you have. And being overstimulated is definitely more intense than being overwhelmed. I am not autistic. I don't want to speak for autistic people, but I'm pretty sure that what she's describing here is she's overwhelmed by what's going on at the party, because overstimulation goes beyond just being overwhelmed. So just wanted to point that out there because it kind of gives me the ick, but that's just me being picky, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Good morning. We have finally reached the point where Larissa is realizing that she's settling with Mike, because Mike isn't necessarily the worst guy in the world, but he's not very honest. He's not consistent. Again, like I've said 1,000 times before, he's not attentive, and he hasn't done anything like terribly wrong. He doesn't cheat or whatever, but she's not satisfied. She didn't verbalize it, but we know that she knows that Chris should be the one that she should be with. I'm gonna keep reading now.
We were in love, but now it's over. So once in a while I dream.
So now we're finding out that Larissa wants to move in with Mike. Not that she wants to, she will move in with Mike. And she says, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was doing something wrong, making the wrong choice. I don't know why. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
If once in a while.
This is so infuriating. Sometimes I give Mike the benefit of the doubt, but then he just disappoints me all over again. Mike reminds me of so many people that I know. And it's just infuriating because not even telling them what you want or what they need to do is enough. It's like they'll never get it. They'll never do it. What the fuck, Mike? What the fuck? Reading Chris talking about what he would do to help Larissa instead. And then him like hinting at Mike like, hey, you should really help your girlfriend shovel the snow out of her fucking car. And Mike just kept forgetting. Seeing people like Mike in real life out in the wild just makes me be so grateful for my boyfriend. I love my boyfriend so much, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me, and I love him so much. Did I say that already? Did I already say how much I love my boyfriend? If you're watching this, I love you so much. Thank you for everything you do for me. I love you so much. Oh my God. I am so happy Chris punched him in the face. Anyways, I am on chapter 40. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this tonight, but I probably will. This is how much I have left. This is so fucking good. All right, let's forget that you have seen me in the same state for the past 3 days. All right, thank you. So I finished this book last night, actually, and the conclusion kind of felt a little bit rushed. Not for the characters, of course, because, you know, we get to see them 6 months later and Mike is doing fine. And they hinted what the next book is going to be about. So I'm assuming we're going to be having a Mike redemption arc, which I am not interested in. So thanks for the suggestion. Don't care. I ended up giving the book 5 stars because this story just felt so real. I know a lot of people had very mixed opinions about this book, but even if I hated Mike, like, all these characters felt so real. They were actually very human, and I wrote in my review that I hope that every girl out there in the world finds her Chris. We love a man of action. I don't think I have much to say about this other than the fact that this is my third Abby Jimenez book, and this is the third book of hers that I gave 5 stars. She never lets me down. She knows how to hurt me really good before she makes me happy. It's like, I don't know, but I really appreciate that. And this is a really good slow burn, by the way, because I didn't even kiss until like 3 chapters before the book ended. So this was absolutely perfect. If you love slow burns, you're gonna like this one. And I think the reason why I enjoy Abby Jimenez's book so much is because these characters, they have their own problems. If you take out the romance, the story will be able to stand on its own, actually. And that's what I really appreciate. And I feel like that's something rare nowadays in romance books. But yeah, I'm gonna finish the vlog right here. I don't know the direction this vlog is going, actually, because I intended it to be more like a library vlog, but it didn't work out. So whatever this is, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. I know I said that I was reading like 4 books at the same time, but now I have to decide which one I'm gonna keep reading. So I'll probably do another vlog. I feel like I just jinx myself. Every time I say that, I actually never do it, but I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Once in a while